for this first match in our best of 3. Spawning in the top right, it's our red Protoss player for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. This is Hero. And spawning into the bottom left, also for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, our blue Zerg player. This is Rogue. All right. It's back in Industries, so seeing the wonderful spawning pool go down. Very, very early here for Rogue. Not a surprising start, especially in ZVP right now. This is a pretty strong map to just get Zerglings across the way and shut down a pylon. Because not only is it really, really short, it does have the acceleration zones. I mean, the hatchery went down at the 3rd base location, so it did miss that. So this is not pool first opening. I lied. I have fooled you. But even still, having that early aggression is going to be really important here on Beckett, as the map will provide for some interesting aggression points. Look at this, though. Robotics facility first. No additional gateway. So, we're going to have to see what actually ends up taking place here. The Zerglings are going to be able to spot this in the main base. They're going to get a little bit of probe damage done as well, but the question's going to be, what does Hero have in mind here? He's just going to go for an early Immortal. Well, these Lings are still getting damage done, mostly because the Adept is doing its own work across the map as well. So both players trading some scrappy blows. But I gotta say, this is an interesting choice. Here for Hero. Yeah, I can't say that I disagree with this at all. This is going to be a Ling Flood. I mean, the wall's wide open. It's a couple of Adepts. It's going to be Lings. This is never going to trade effectively here. Suddenly, Rogue's going to be able to just get a lot of the damage done. Yeah, as I say, you got to finish off that last Immortal here. Workers are going to go down. Rogue should be able to just clean this up. Easy peasy. Game 1, very fast and furious. Rogue beats Hero. So it's going to be Nexus before Cybercore this time around. This wall is going to be a little bit easier to hold. It's not as wide. I mean, Beckett Industries has such a wide gap to try and cover if you're a Protoss player. But in this case, it's a lot better wall-off location. So I don't think that the rush down is going to be so powerful here by Rogue. Now, the reality of the situation is that Hero is going to go into a much more normal timing here. He does throw Stargate down first. I can only imagine that Hero had something in mind. I guess Beckett's not a bad map for that quick 3 to 4 roach timing. So had Rogue gone into that, that would have been a really strong response. You park behind the wall, and the Immortal just wails away at roaches for days, and then suddenly there's no push, and then you just out-tech your opponent. Makes sense. Makes enough sense. Not going to get that in game number 2, though. We do have a Void Ray coming out here first. And this is where we saw the difference between like Hero and Classic in Classic's first series. Classic was still kind of rocking the Oracle first opening, which is not in the current meta. Again, it's not so bad. There's still lots of options available for it. Ooh. Hero is going to respond, though. This is looking like a follow-up Glaive Adept timing. Yep, I believe that'll be the case here. We do have a Twilight Council coming down. Third base is going to come out really, really quick. I think this is going to be a red herring. As the production is probably very quickly going to go into, Adept production. Now, right now, no tech into lair just yet. Ro16's going to go down a little bit late. Usually we see that dropped about 420, and then we see the lair go down. So Rogue's a bit behind on the draw there, but I don't think it's that bad. Okay, so Rogue has an opportunity here to try and hold this down in place, but right now his Roach production is really, really low. He almost needs to wall off. I think that's going to be the case. Yeah, he's double checking just to be sure. Yep, good choice. Needs to just buy himself a little bit of time and trying to keep this this gap. Oh no, he's gonna let it through. Oh, no. And I think this might just be enough Roach production, though. So he is going to be able to block the third and keep that protected. So the drone kill is limited for right now, but I think that is going to be short-lived. Main line's going to get pulled off. Hero is not... Oh, okay, now he is starting to find the drone damage that he needs. We'll be able to get double-digit kills here in just a moment. 12 have gone down so far. I feel like Rogue has done everything possible to try and keep this in his stead. He is going to be able to scout this out and see the transition into the robotics bay coming up. Roach Warren is going to research Galil Reconstitution, which will make his additional units continue to move on forward. And here's going to continue to find additional damage with these adepts. So it's a good amount of response here. Overall, how many workers have gone down? 24. 24 in total. And things are going to start coming to a head here in a bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see Rogue try and move across the map. So the additional Oracle harassment is not going to find that much. But it is going to be good scouting, trying to determine where this army is going to start posting up. It's going to be a big number of banelings brought in to the mix. Baneling speed being researched as well. But as a result, it does end up meaning that the Colossus is the choice of command here. So making this this bio ball on the ground here for Protoss a bit more dangerous. One disruptor ball here. Additional Colossus are going to be added into the mix. Rogue's got his 4th base set and ready to go. So that ends up being a really positive scenario. But I think some of the protection here is going to be a bit difficult to deal with. But Rogue does have a sizable advantage. It's 173 to 133. Hero's got the better army composition, in my opinion. But I think Rogue is just one good engagement away from taking care of that. It's additional banelings coming in. That does a really nice job of limiting the type of army that that hero can go into, because now at this point the giant swell of charge lots not as effective. Banelings are also just going to be really good against the mineral lines, as they will eventually try and work their way in and find additional damage if possible. But this, oh gosh, imagine if these lings were able to get around unscouted. Oh man, that would have, I mean, that might have been over. That might have just been over for Hero. Hero was about 3 seconds away from possibly just falling apart, but instead, this army's going to have to get pushed back a little bit. Rogue is supply maxed. A lot of Banes that I think need to be rolled away. They will be. Yeah, they're just going to try and find some damage. They don't find much of anything. Nice little micro trick, though. Some additional units going to get brought in. The Void Ray did get picked off. All right, here comes the boys. Some of those banelings do wiggle their way through. Ooh, nice little snap here by the Disruptor. Does get 11 kills in total. Once again, Rogue is still rather supply max, but so is Hero. It's a matter of engagements at this point, and the banelings could find a lot of value if they are able to get to their targets. And right now, they do get to the heart of the group, but there's just not that much death just yet. But Hero's supply does go down. It does take a beating here. They are equal on army supply, 191 to 178. Rogue does have the slight economic advantage here. A fleet beacon is on the way, so we know where this is headed for Hero. Banelings are going to roll around and try and find the intended targets, which are going to be those zealots, and they do make it there. Hero is struggling. He's trying to keep his army count high, but right now, not getting exactly what he needs. There are still 5 Colossus as a part of this army, and that is the overwhelming victory in that hold, is mitigating a lot of the creep spread here in between these bases for Rogue, and also managing to keep the Stalkers and the Colossus available and alive. So additional disruptors getting brought in. That means this Stalker army is going to continue to find more and more damage. The Banelings are not going to be able to connect. They do get picked off by the Colossus. So more Banelings do need to keep coming in. They cannot be slowed down. I'm thinking that Hero might have outlasted his opponent. Rogue is on his final legs here. Oh, more and more disruptive shots do manage to connect. The Banelings are not going to find their target this time around. That means multiple bases are going to be attacked. GG is called, and we are going to a game number 3 to see who's going to be joining Cure in the playoffs. So very well played. Of course, folks, this is a good opportunity to check out Matcherino if you haven't already. Matcherino is a great partner here for Alpha X and just community esports in general, allowing us to create player prize pools so that way we can not only push up the prize pool as high as it can possibly go with your contributions, but also a great way to pay out our players. So please do consider checking that out. ! Matcherino in the chat if you want to take a look at that. The coupon codes, so easy to use. If you haven't used Matcherino in the last couple of months, they've made it very easy to help contribute to these prize pools. All you have to do is click the link in the chat, log in the top right-hand corner. You can use whatever account you like. There's lots of different options. I use my Twitch account because that is the easiest for me to do. And then all you have to do is click the claim code button. I believe it's a blue button in the top right as well. And that's it. Used to be you had to have a code and you had to type and you had to remember things. So difficult. Matcherino has made it so easy for you to help contribute. So if there are any of those codes available, please do consider using them. It costs you absolutely nothing. And it allows you to contribute 50 cents to the prize pool for absolutely free. So thanks so much for considering that. Really do appreciate it. So, this is a Twilight Council opening. Hero believes in the proxy, or not the proxy, but the Glaive Adept timing. And honestly, on Oxide, the Glaive Adept timing is pretty good. The distance between the second and the third base is a little bit further, so it makes it difficult for Rogue to try and maneuver that. And it's coming down at an early enough of a time that a lot of the creep spread's not going to be where it needs to be. I imagine this is still going to be rather uncreeped, despite Rogue's best efforts. You know what? He got that down at a pretty decent time. He might be able to cover that gap. But I think this gap is going to be open a little bit. Is there any robotics facility with this? No. It is just... It's just going to be 4 gates. 4 gates and adepts. I think that's going to be it. All right, Rogue's done what he needs to. He has gotten the creep spread covered. But that it will come at the cost of injects. There goes the robotics facility right now. So this is actually going to be delayed a little bit. Feels like a potential mistake. Rochefort's going to come down. It is going to be a little bit late. The gas production is going to be a bit behind as well. So right now, there's 8. There will be 8 roaches available, provided he has the minerals to make it happen. Oh, the poison does get popped last second. All right, Hero looking to secure his trip to the playoffs here with this Glaive Adept timing. 8 workers have gone down so far. The Adepts are going to hang out here at the third base location. Probably put in some more damage onto those Queens. The Queens have been brought up to the main to deal a majority of the damage, but I think right now this is probably the scarier part. They are going to shade out, but they are going to get picked up and reunited with other Adepts. Hero continuing to build into the production. We do have some roaches on the production tab. 2 are in, 7 are already out. There is no third base yet at this point. Not that there will never be, but there isn't right now. I think if Rogue holds this, I think Rogue might just end up pushing forward and winning. Oh, we got a full surround on this. That's actually a great kill here. Ah, that sentry. Just hanging in there. That is a lot. It's a lot of Zerglings. Still a bit uncertain at this time who has the major advantage. Right now, Hero does have a decent amount of probes, but not a lot not as much army as his opponent, Rogue. Rogue's done a reasonable job here of holding this off. He did lose 16 workers. I think that could have been much worse given the timing. The lack of a third base here for Hero means that this will be a difficult scenario for Hero. Rogue's going to be able to outgrow his opponent. And having a good scouting location on those third bases means that the lack of surprise is going to be good as well. Now, Hero does have the opportunity to possibly supersede his opponent. He does have disruptors on the production tab. Disruptors are pretty good, especially against a Roach Ravager Queen army. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Queens get pulled across here. Third base is now going to come down. This is a pretty good choke for Hero to try and play into. It all comes down to engagement at this point. I think Rogue is going to try and take an advantage here. Oh, I mean, if he catches his opponent just out in the open here, that would be the mistake of the century. Rogues can get around most everything. The Disruptor shots are going to go out to the Roaches and the Ravagers, and that's exactly the right call. But Hero is going to lose a lot in return. Zerglin's going to try and wrap around on the bottom side of this army to try and catch those Immortals, but now the Shield Battery Overcharge is on top of everything. It is going to try and get as much work done as humanly possible. Oh, he holds on. This Nexus is going to be under fire now, though, and killing the Nexus could potentially be good thing. He dodges every single shot there from the Disruptor, and then only loses a Roach and a Ravager. That's it? What a great play by Rogue. Amazing micro to try and keep him alive, and Rogue is pushing things down. It is 3 Immortals, though, against these Roaches, which does end up being a lot of DPS, and beautiful juggling here by Hero. Losing some of those Ravagers, incredibly damaging, but the push is not over. This third base is still vulnerable. Biles are going to try and buy as much time as humanly possible, and this stabilizes for the most part here. This is a lot of army. Rogue, though, is missing a lot of resources. The income graph keeps it pretty close, though. Hero at 45 workers, Rogue at 39. It's a low eco game here for both of these players. Hero trying to find a little bit of damage with those Disruptors, but not going to get it just yet. I do like the Spore Crawler, though, out kind of on this attack path. That is a very interesting choice here. Rogue continues to build army back behind this. He is going to get another big wraparound with these lanes. The Biles are going to come raining on down. That was a decent amount of damage here, but the Immortals continue to stand. As long as the Immortals live, I think Hero continues to hold, and he dodges so much damage once again. Has he lost Immortals? He has. He's lost 2 in total. But once again, this is really, really good control here by Hero. Rogue is continuing to invest in his army count, and he needs to find a way to kill these off. He just has not made more drones. It's more Lings in the production tab. The Immortal count still stands. He's got 5 Immortals right now. And additionally, these Adepts are going to continue getting more damage done against the Lings and the Ravagers because the Roaches just don't exist. And at this point, this continues to be a better situation for Hero. Rogue is running out of steam. He's running out of bank. He's not building, again, any more drones. I think Hero is on the verge of winning this. This is too many Immortals. And the Immortals are just going to shred the Queens. Oh, that poor Overlord. It didn't do anything wrong. I'm thinking Hero's got this. He just needs to kind of hold this position right now and not lose anything more than he absolutely has to. He eats a couple of Isles, but the Adept Shades are going to try and go forward. I would not be surprised to see these complete right on top of this army here. He's going to surround some of those Ravagers. The Ravagers are not going to be able to get picked up because there's nothing to pick them up. There's no Overlords lurking around. Hero with the hold of the century here. Rogue cannot overwhelm, and Hero will be advancing out of this group 2-1. Well played.